Welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport.
Well, it's Wednesday, and this video is well late. But here is a roundup of the previous weekend's motorsport. Why is it late, you ask? You didn't, I'm literally talking to myself. Well, because there was a hell of a lot of motorsport this weekend, as opposed to the last couple of weekends when it's been barer than a nun on her day off. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's start with Formula 2. The first race was dull, barely any overtaking. Latifi won from De Vries. Race 2 pretty much the same, but Mick Schumacher took his first win at this level and seems to be coming along just fine. De Vries finished 4th and Latifi 5th, so the championship is still open, but the status quo pretty much remained the same. Formula 3 was a little more interesting, and the title is way more open, with at least 4 drivers really in with a shot. Vips was on pole but had a bad start and had a good battle with Nico Kari throughout the race. Hyman spun again, apparently he really likes going in circles. Towards the end, Kari's tyres went off and he sank like a stone. Schwartzman, De Ruyveler and Armstrong struggled, and Lundgaard won. Race 2 was dull until the last 7 laps. Schwartzman damaged his front wing on a Carlin, I forget who. He dropped down, the Carlin retired with a puncture. Hughes and Vips moved up, Armstrong won, De Ruyveler was 6th, Schwartzman eventually retired. Good for the championship, Vips moves past De Ruyveler into second and just 12 of Schwartzman. And Armstrong brings himself into play. Good stuff. British touring cars at Snetterton, and not a lot happened in race 1. Matt Neal broke down and Stephen Jelly spun. Neal and Plato have been struggling in recent years. Maybe rigor mortis has finally set in. But this was a better weekend from Plato, best in a long while. Anyway, first race, Ingram won from Camish. Race 2, and it started with Jelly spinning again. Ingram with the weight on dropped to nowhere, and Turkington won from Camish, and it really is starting to look like Colin Turkington's championship again. Race 3, and Plato was on pole, and we saw some hard defending from him. Plato and Sutton came to blows multiple times throughout the race, but it ended with Butcher joining the pair, and 3 into 1 doesn't go, as we all know. Plato and Sutton really took each other out of this race, and Butcher ended up winning from Josh Cook and Smiley for a Honda 1-2-3. Turkington and Jordan had good consistent weekends, and a title looks between those two, but Butcher winning again moves him into 3rd, and he is not too far off. I should stop making fun of him. WRC in Finland, and the first time I've really spoken on this site about rallying. Latvala and Meek were strong on day 1 and 2, but Meek broke his rear suspension on day 3, and Tanak moved into the lead. Day 4, and we started to see mistakes. Gus Greensmith crashed. I forgot he existed, honestly. Chris Meek then crashed once again. He shows speed every now and again, but crashes far too often, and it is going to ruin his career. Tanak won with OJ and Nerval further down, and it is starting to pull out a lead. Will this be the year that Sebastian is finally dethroned? Also, Johan Kristoffersson was 4th in WRC 2. Good for him. Speaking of Kristoffersson, World Rallycross in Canada. So much happened. We saw a few big crashes in qualifying. Scheider and Shikaric took each other out in Q3 race 4. The Hansons were involved in a few instances, and Timmy Hansen didn't make it to the semis. Gronholm looked to be dominating, but then lost in the semi-final. And then in the final, Kevin Hansen wipes out Markland and then spins, and Backrud ended up winning from Baumanis and Timizyanov. Backrud is just behind Kevin Hansen in the standings, and Gronholm and Timmy Hansen are not far behind. NASCAR at Watkins Glen. It was so meh. Chase Elliott won lights to flag, Carl Busch got into a couple of fights with Byron and Wallace. It was as dumb as it sounds. Super GT, and it was the 500-mile race at Fiji. I didn't watch it. I did last year and I like Super GT, but I just don't have time. It's like 5 hours long. If anyone has highlights, send them my way. Oshima and Yamashita won their 2nd race in a row. Button and Yamamoto finished 2nd. Kartikeyan came 10th. Who the hell keeps hiring him? Anyway, that's it for this week. So much motorsport to watch, as well as Formula 1, which I reviewed earlier this week. There was some good stuff. If you only want to watch some, I'd recommend the 3rd British Touring Car race, the WRC in Finland and World Rallycross. Next week we won't be as interesting with NASCAR and DTM, but we also have the last round of the W Series, and I will do a video talking about that. That is all for now. Remember to comment, like and subscribe, and most importantly, have a good one.